As a chef, you have to have a great sense of ambition and aspirations of always pushing forward. You have to know yourself, where your roots are, where your strength as a chef is.
You work at Georges Blanc. He was an iconic chef for us.
People come from all over the world just to dine.
To dine in his place. When I worked in La Tour d'Argent, they were very, abusive. Did you get the same treatment?
Of course.
Why are you laughing? I'm not laughing about it, I'm crying.
Because it was very tough, but also you learn a lot. You have lessons for the rest of your life.
So what we call the old-fashioned way was to be abused in the kitchens. And that was actually in France, almost like a tradition. You were taking a young man, you were breaking him morally, mentally, to rebuild that young person and mold him into the system of your brigade, which is the team of the kitchen in your restaurant. And that was a very painful experience.
You have lessons for the rest of your life.
You have an opportunity at one point to go, maybe, was it Jacques Maximin de Negresco?
Yeah.
You apply,
Yeah.
you accepted,
Yeah.
then you show up.
And there's no job. They just never seen a black chef at that time. The sous chef that was looking at me,
Yeah.
he just didn't want to get in trouble.
So you were a victim of racism. It is true that in our kitchen in France,
Yeah.
at the time, it was some racism.
We weren't ready.
They just look at you and they're like, okay, that's not gonna work.
The look, right? The young chef, the sous chef that was supposed to hire me, he just looked at me like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like, there is no job for you. It was some of the hardest days in my life to get on the train to go home, thinking about, you know what? I'm not going to quit.
So it's giving you an engine to say, I'm gonna live my dream.
Yeah.
I don't care what those
Yes.
guys think.
Determination. That one day, I have to go to America. Come to
Because you thought America was a land of opportunity?
land of opportunity, and also started to see more people of color, not just black people, but you saw Asian, you saw Indian.
So you were
saw
watching TV a lot.
Watching TV, and you started thinking about it.
Yeah, I think because I'm French, they're waiting for me with the red carpet
Yeah.
at the airport. There's no one waiting, and nobody speaks French. I'm very surprised.
Yeah. Where's my limo?
Yeah, exactly. You start in New York,
Yes.
and you go to...
Aquavit, because Aquavit was a big, big deal. It was a good restaurant, but it hadn't achieved its potential. I felt like, you know what I've seen in Switzerland, what I've seen in France.
You can make a contribution.
Absolutely.
So you worked almost a year with them?
Yes. I go back and travel 1 year on a cruise ship. I really wanted to travel all over the world.
Which countries do you visit?
We go basically from South America all the way to Asia. We get a chance to go to the major ports, and wow, my palate of food was completely changed after that.
Then you come back.
Yes.
And so in 1994, the
Yes.
chef of Aquavit passed away.
Yes.
And then you become the chef.
Yeah.
And you did really well. Aquavit was a great success. Did you find your style at that time? Because you were one of the leaders of
Yeah.
fusion cuisine.
But in the beginning, it was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna find my style. And I knew my style from the ship based in a European tradition, but also with this sort of inspiration from Asia and South America that I've now have tasted and experienced there. I just find this like, you know what? New York is the perfect place because you have Chinatown and you have all these great, great, great places.
When did you do your first cookbook?
It was really Aquavit's first cookbook. It came out 2003, so I was like 32 years old.
A magnificent book. The food is so sexy, and then
Yes.
you decide to do a TV show. You do other books. You expand the brand, or we call that the restaurant or the
Yeah.
brand. So you're very active and very dynamic. You're in the media a lot. You are well known for being one of the most well-dressed chefs on the planet. A month ago, you were in Vogue magazine.
Yeah.
I mean, who gets in Vogue magazine? I mean, seriously.
You have to cook a lot of good dinners for Anna. That's how you get there.
You're well connected.
Yeah.
Because you know many influential people. You actually went to the White House a few times, right? You cook with Obama's?
With the First Lady, I've cooked twice, and
Yes.
then obviously at the state dinner. When I cook with the First Lady, I think they want a dish that is healthy, that is
Yes.
forward-thinking, and represent the garden and the First Lady really well.
You believe in organic. You believe in healthy cooking.
The food today has to be fresh, and it has to
Yes.
be relevant. The customers today are so diverse, right?
You engage in many things
Yes.
heavily. You're an ambassador. You're still an ambassador for UNICEF?
Yes, they didn't fire me yet.
So what does it mean to be an ambassador for the UNICEF?
Well, it's, I think, Eric, for somebody like me that comes with a background that's been helped
Yes.
by so many people, right? Then I think I have to give back. And that's the
So-
thing that is very important for me, to give something to the community. So being an ambassador at UNICEF it's one of the highest honors you can have because you go to places like Ethiopia, like India. I do cooking classes. We find clean water project for a lot of the communities that don't.
Do you help raise awareness and also cash?
You said the key word.
Right?
Cash. Cash is king.
It's important.
As chefs, we actually are very much often the bridge between an ingredient and for the community to understand what to do with it, right? So, I have my dish ready for you.
Okay, so I have 2 plates.
Nice.
I even have some beer. I think that
Perfect.
you like to drink this one,
I
right?
love this pale ale. I love this one.
So we go eat?
Absolutely, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So today, you're the CEO of the company.
Yes.
You still do some televisions at
Yeah.
times. You publish book. You have the Red Rooster, which is very close to your heart. At the Red Rooster, you wanted to open a restaurant that will create a new vibrancy in that area.
We can use all of New York. Why is it that all the restaurants are basically on 58 blocks?
New York is always changing. New York always rejuvenates itself. Harlem seems to be revitalized by people like Marcus who are saying, hey, I like that neighborhood.
I remember when you came up with your son and your wife and your mother-in-law, you came up to Harlem and you saw a community that you all are part of, and you liked it, and you come back. And it's not just coming back to Rooster, it's like, oh, you know what? I haven't been in here a while. And that is the type of energy that we want to create. Like, hey, New York is for all of us.
And
That's
you
the
have
goal.
the music also, you're very passionate about music.
It's a big part of it. And my favorite night is going to be the time when Eric does techno night.
I'm DJing, and my wife will go to salsa night.
There you go. America is changing, and New York City is a major part of that force. I'm part of that, but end of the day, it comes down to really working hard, hiring people that are really passionate, and if you do that in a place like Harlem, the numbers will take care of themselves.
Marcus is at the head of the curve, and Harlem is definitely moving.
On a day-to-day basis, we have to be passionate and have to love what we're doing every day. Long term, if I could be part of introducing a better way for us to eat, not just with people that have a lot of money, but people have lesser economy, I would take a lot of pride in that.